guys, how you doing? This is Manga, etc. and I'm here today to bring you the review for One Piece episode 953. And now, being a manga reader, I don't watch the previews for the following episodes, but I'm guessing a certain little scene that happened at the very beginning of this episode was within that preview for this week's episode, and that probably gave people who are anime onlys a lot of hype, a lot of anticipation for the next episode. I can understand why that was the case, and but things rolled out a little bit different for me. Seeing as how I don't watch the previews and being a manga reader, and that's stems from being a manga reader. So when the episode started, and I saw that this is the route was taken, I was like, ew, okay, so we're going to extend on. They're going to extend on that little like scenario because in the manga it is very different. You don't get them fighting at all. You just hear about it later on. And so now that was my first thought. My second thought was, okay, maybe we will get to the scene, the panel rather, that I was complaining that we didn't get about. I was complaining that we didn't get about last week in the review. But that wasn't the case. And then after that, my thoughts that followed was that, okay, this is going to be filler, so I'm not going to get my hopes up. I'm not going to expect some fully blown, definitely not full blown anyway. I definitely knew for a fact it was going to be full blown, but I wasn't expecting a good fight. And now it looked good, animation wise, it looked good, but for me, choreograph. No, wait, choreograph. Basically, what I'm saying is that the choreography for the fight wasn't that good, but but it was better than I thought it would be. If you actually think about it and deep it for yourself, okay, maybe this might be just me, but if you take away the best bit of the fight that we get, which is when Big Mom fires the Elbath spear, uh, Kaido directs it back to her using the thunder something, whatever that move is called, and then when it's on its way back to Big Mom and Big Mom deflects it away from her, that for me is the best choreographed bit of the fight. And if you take that away, the fight is really DBZ style, as I call it, where you just go, and you just see. Well, for One Piece it would be that, but for it was that Dragon Ball Z it would be like. But yeah, like for me personally, if you take out that scene that I mentioned, the fight was just the Clash of Conquerors Haki, which again it looks visually good, but when you deep it, it's just. And then there was a bit where they're jumping up and down in the sky. I did not expect that. I did not expect that. But they're just jumping up in the sky. And the reason why I didn't expect that is because these guys are pretty big people, especially Big Mom. No, they're both big. They're both big. So you wouldn't expect them to be jumping up and down, crashing through the sky and that kind of stuff. So that took me by surprise. But the fight as a whole, not really impressive to me. Looked impressive, but wasn't impressive. That's my final thoughts on that. So after that, basically the episode is us just finding out where our Samurai Pirate Ninja Alliance, or whatever it is basically standing at this present moment in time. We know that Luffy's faction was able to convince Queen that Udon is the prison. Udon is all under wraps, all under control, no need for him to come back. So that's Queen's thinking right now. Quite to his unfortune, he was rather looking to get out of there. So that's Queen's fortune right now. So all them people there, they're cool. They don't have nothing to worry about. And you find out that Luffy's faction, as I'm gonna call them, gets this information to Kinemon. So it's just true throughout the episode, like as just previously, we find out where they stand now. So they've got the numbers, but basically they got the numbers, they got the transportation, but now they need the weapons. Where are these weapons going to come from? Is basically where we're standing at right now. So everyone, Kinemon in that was impressed with what Luffy and that did. Um, was it mentioned about them securing the ships? I don't think so. We do learn through Kinemon's fraction that the blueprints that Frankie was looking for earlier, shooting Marius had this whole time. So that's good. We got that. This is like I said, it's all about finding out where their alliance stands, how well they are progressing, and they are progressing fairly well. The only thing they need right now is for Frankie to rebuild them ships and to secure some weapons, and then they're good to go. They're ready for fight night. They were literally ready for fight night. So yeah, that was it. Um, God and Luffy, the udon scene, and the Kinemon at the shipyard scene, wherever they're at. So after that, we go back to the bridge, our favorite snowy bridge in Wano. And it's during this time we've actually flashback. Quite unfortunate, but we actually flash back to just how Momo's sister and the Kappa know each other basically, and it's basically it all boils down to this: the Kappa was looking after her, and then one day when my sister decided, yo, like he's doing too much for me, like I'm, I guess I'm taking. She guess I'm guessing she thought that she was taking advantage of him, and she didn't want to be a burden on him, did she? And she didn't want to be a burden on him any further, so she ran away. And I don't know. I find it kind of a hard pill to swallow. Maybe a medium pill to swallow, but he was never able to find her, right? He was never able to find her. So after that flashback, which I did notice that the background music with the flashback was making me start to feel a kind of way, but like I've said about previous characters in the past, like if you don't have enough screen time, I was talking about, I think the last time I spoke about this was Pedro's death, maybe Yasu's death as well. But anyway, but this was definitely Pedro's death. I remember thinking that how because Pedro didn't have enough screen time, I didn't have enough time to form an opinion of the character. So when he died, it didn't impact me. So with that in mind, what I'm thinking right here, right now, is that the Kappa especially and Momo's sister haven't had enough screen time for me to start feeling things for them. So I I acknowledge that the background music added to the emotion in the scene, but because they haven't had enough screen time, I wasn't 100% feeling it. Here we go. So after that, we have the bridge bandit. I was gonna say bridge builder. What's bridge? Anyway, the bridge bandit gets shot by members of Kaido's crew who have rolled up to take advantage, not advantage, take revenge on the bridge bandit for stealing weapons prior. And they take a shot. It's fairly heavy wound after we end off the episode with him running off, bleeding out. Seemed to be flashing back to some sort of memories he had earlier. And before we get that, we do get a little action scene, a little two on many with Kappa and Zoro versus these members of Kaido's crew. And now you've seen, was it the River Revolution? Yeah, we've seen this move twice before, and obviously it wasn't as animated, wasn't as great as definitely the first time, and definitely the second time as well. And then, we've seen greater things from Zero as well. So these two moves that we see from them within this episode was meh at best. But it's always nice to get a little bit of action, a little bit more action within the episode. So there's that. So yeah, that's everything I want to say about this episode. I do believe the pacing was actually, I didn't have a problem with it. Usually I have a problem with the pacing, but I felt like we was moving along pretty nicely. But it was I don't think it deserves anything higher than the rating I'm going to give it. And the last thing, that's the absolute last thing I want to say about this episode is that if they spent more time on the Big Mom Kaido fight, gave it some more decent choreo, that would have bumped it up to a 4. So you're probably realizing what it's going to get. 3-star rating and call it a review. Of course, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please go to my YouTube channel. But most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.